Peace. Welcome to Faith Expressions. Let us now reflect on the importance of praying the Via Crucis, the prayer of the way of the cross. Let us begin in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. We have entered into the Lenten season. And in the Lenten season, one of the many devotional activities is the praying of the Via Crucis, or the way of the cross. We all know, as Catholic Christians, in the church there are pictures, stations we call them, about the journey of Jesus Christ in His passion, death, and the resurrection. But the way of the cross, precisely cross, is mostly on the part of His passion until His death. And so within this prayer, we are reliving those moments of betrayal, of abandonment, of humiliation, people crying, the Blessed Mother Mary crying, the women of Jerusalem crying, and many other people were hurt. But also many people were so angry or hateful against Jesus for reasons maybe they do not know. And then the nailing on the cross, the picture and the image and the reliving of all these details along the passion, the suffering, and the death of our Lord Jesus Christ is contained in this praying of the way of the cross. And this is very important to know, that this prayer has been there for many generations in the life of the church. It is in this prayer that we can find, and we should find, I would like to suggest few points. The first point is, this is the prayer that makes us enter directly into the Paschal Mystery, into the passion, the suffering, and the death of our Lord Jesus Christ. What does this mean to you personally, to me personally? And so this prayer makes us able to enter into that, because it makes us able to encounter every moment of it and reflect over it. The second is, this is a prayer that we now have to encounter also ourselves, and find ourselves the contrition needed for our own conversion, for our own sins. This prayer is our prayer of penance for our own sins and the sins of the whole world. This is a very beautiful reason to that. The third, this prayer enables us to see what really happened, and therefore seeing what happened, the betrayal, the abandonment of those closest to Jesus, should make us able to renew and to make a fundamental decision to have allegiance, to have loyalty to Jesus Christ. We commit ourselves to Jesus. We will tell Him, as much as we are sorry for our sins, for my sins, I profess and promise once again loyalty, devotion to you, my Lord Jesus. The other point I would like us to see in this prayer, this is a prayer that will also make us see that our world is broken. We live in a broken world. And this is the prayer that shows to us, people would say, yes, crucify Him, yes, let Him do that, etc. People, I don't know what kind of pleasure. I believe that is, it's not happy, but there's a pleasure seeing other people suffer and having pleasure over it. There is something broken in it. Even if you see that person needs to die, you see that person needs to be crucified. This person is a criminal. This person is an addict. This person is who hurt me a lot, and so I want him to be cursed. Even if you have valid reasons to truly do harm to the person and then have pleasure over it, that's a broken sense of humanity. Broken sense of humanity. And it is in the narrative of the passion of the Lord Jesus Christ. It is in the narrative of the world we live in. There is capital punishment, even if the church has been encouraging the governments to rethink the extrajudicial killings, the absolute governments and absolute powers in leaders. Okay, they have reason to do what they would want to do to a person whom they don't like, or whom they would see as not fit to be in the society, and so kill it, or kill him, or kill them. The pleasure to it, or even without the pleasure, but just the willingness to do it, abortion. This is a broken sense of humanity. And the prayer of the way of the cross is proclaiming that. In the praying of the Holy Cross, of the way of the cross, we need to pray for the world we live in, to pray for sanctification and salvation of the world, to pray that God may cast out from our hearts forms of hatred, forms of arrogance, forms of tendencies to think of oneself and not thinking about what God thinks. You see, in the world we live in, we are in a broken world with broken hearts. But we cannot be adding to the brokenness that we have. Rather, we have to be instruments of healing, of making the world we live in whole, of our making our lives whole. And we pray for that as a church and as an individual believers. This is the prayer that gives us this opportunity. May we be drawn to find time for praying the way of the cross. And as you and I accompany Jesus in this prayer, with contrition, with sorrow to our sins, may we be blessed by Him. And in the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen.